Thanks so much for clicking on the video. My name is Leah, and let's talk about Real Housewives of Potomac. This is season 7. I want to say episode 14. Could be wrong, but let's get into it. So before we get into the review, let's get a little spicy. I only got 2 things to talk about. One is Eddie. Eddie is deciding to turn a negative into a positive, and I can't hate. So it was released on Twitter via Eddie's own Twitter page. He released this on January the 22nd, 2023, and he said, launching Happy Eddie cannabis brand soon. We turn negatives into positives over here. Hashtag winning, hashtag RHOP. I'm not hating. You know, a lot of us and other brown people have been incarcerated for crazy amount of times due to their link to cannabis and things of that nature. And now that it's becoming legal in different states, a lot of people that don't look like us are making millions of dollars off of it, which I don't think is fair, because let everybody else you put in jail for like 50 years for like a gram out and be free. But that's another conversation for another day. But I ain't gonna hate. And I think Happy Eddie is a cute name. Like, I think that's actually a really cute name. So good for Eddie. The last thing we're going to talk about, and then we're going to get into this review, is Robin and Juan got married, y'all. So she really had a private wedding. It was really just her and her boys. And it was released by People magazine on January the 23rd. And I'm going to read it for you. But I'm also going to put the link below so you can read it for yourself. And it goes, Robin Dixon and Juan Dixon are married again. RHOP to air surprise wedding in the season 7 finale. The Real Housewives of Potomac star and her former NBA player have tied the knot for the second time. People can exclusively reveal. Robin Dixon and Juan Dixon are officially married again. The Real Housewives of Potomac star 43 and the former NBA player 44, who share a son, Corey 14, Carter 13, have tied the knot for the second time. People can exclusively reveal. 3 sources confirmed that happy news is revealed in the upcoming finale episode of RHOP's 7th season, which will feature footage of Dixon's big day, which was taped after the show wrapped and did not include Robin's fellow Potomac housewives. According to the insider, Robin will open up more about the intimate nuptials at the reunion special, which was taped last Thursday. Representatives for Bravo and the Dixons have not commented. So honestly, y'all, I'm happy for her. I don't know if I would have married him again, because that's just my mind. We gonna be divorced. We just gonna be divorced, you know. But I'm glad she got married the way she wanted to get married. It was with her, Juan, and her 2 sons, and that's how she wanted it. I was happy that she didn't crumble to everybody pressuring her to do it the way that they wanted her to do it. Because at the end of the day, a marriage is between you and the person that you're with, in my opinion. So I'm glad that she spent the money the way she wanted to spend it, and I hope it was beautiful for her. But let's get into this episode. All right, y'all. So the episode opens up, and we found out that it's day 3 of the ladies being in Mexico. If I'm gonna be all the way real with y'all, this trip is lame. And the reason why I say that is, like, as someone who recently just got back from Mexico, they have done nothing. Excuse me. Done nothing other than go to a cenote, have some man, had a shaman blow smoke up their hoo-has, and that's it. And it's like when my family and I were in Mexico, like, we did things like we went ATV riding, we did zip lining, we went to a cenote, went to cultural performances, like we went around, like our resort had like a whole bunch of different shows and stuff and different events, and it's just kind of like, what is going on? And I'm looking at Karen and like Ashley as you two as the hostess. Y'all really don't show nothing for y'all to be married to men that y'all claim had millions. You had Karen always calling Ray the Black Bill Gates. Bill Gates got stacks. Isn't Bill Gates passed away? No, that's Steve Jobs that's passed away. But like, Bill Gates got money. Bill Gates has a crazy amount of wealth. Then you have Ashley always talking about how Michael is a millionaire. We're the millions. Like, we're on this trip, and I'm like, this is lame. And the reason why I say that is, like, I know excursions or don't cost that much. We haven't even seen the ladies on a yacht. And the site that me and my family booked our excursions and like activities on, there was a yacht part where you could be on a yacht for 2 to 3 hours and they were shoveling food and alcohol down your throat. And you were out in the middle of the ocean and you could swim in the ocean. So it's just kind of like, and that was only $150. So I'm just like, I know y'all got enough to do that. Even the thing that we did, I think I only, because I split it, the cost with my sister, I think the cost, like, it only cost me like $65 to go swimming in the cenote, to go zip lining and ATV riding, and we got fed and had a good time. So it's just weird to me that they haven't really done anything like that. Like, this trip is giving very much like season 1. And I'm just kind of like, why? Why is this trip giving season 1 when y'all went to Spain? I think y'all went to France. It's like y'all have been to other places and done things. Why are y'all not doing things in Mexico? And my only 2 culprits I can look at is Karen and Ashley, because y'all are supposed to be the hostess. Like, this is lame. This trip is lame. But like I said, it's day 3. Everyone's getting ready because they're supposed to go to Tulum for the day. While people are getting ready, we see Giselle and Mia sit down at the bar, get something to drink, and then, conversate. We find out that Giselle's stomach is doing backflips and somersaults, and I said, that's what you get. That's the evilness in you. JK. What I will say is they give out tequila in Mexico like it's water. No lie. Like, everything I had in it either had rum or tequila. And if you don't pace yourself, you going to be in a world of hurt. That's why you got to drink water as you're sipping your drinks and eat some food. It is given that Giselle did not pace herself. And now her body is letting her know, get it right, get it tight. Okay? So while they're sitting down, they start talking about how Giselle wasn't happy about the way Karen came at Charisse. She felt like Karen was like trying to malign Charisse's character. She feels like Karen is jealous of Charisse. She also goes on to talk about how she thinks Wendy is jealous of Mia. Then Mia brings up Robin's bachelorette party that they want to throw for her, and how they want to bring a stripper, and how Mia is the one that needs to, be over that because, she know the right kind of strippers. Pretty much confirming that she was a stripper. And my thing is, Mia be forgetting her lies, because all last season you tried to act like you didn't strip and you ain't swing on a pole, that you was out here at a gentleman's club with a gown on serving the people steak and lobster, when it's like they still got poles at gentleman's club. Y'all be taking them dresses off and swinging, lady. Like, stop, Mia. So that was that part. What I will say is, I hate when women say a girl is like another lady or another person is jealous of them, because it's very low hanging fruit, and it stops someone from being introspective to figure out, like, maybe I've done something to them, or maybe the person just doesn't like you because they think you're crap. And I feel like when women are like, oh, she's just jealous of me, is she really jealous of you, or does she not like you because you're a horrible person? Did you think about that? So, I don't know. I will say, when it comes to the Karen versus Charisse thing, I do think there's a tinge of jealousy, but I think it's between both of them. And, like, I really do. I really do. And someone tried to tell me I was wrong on my last review. Don't really care. But thanks for watching. Because I think there is. I think when it comes to Charisse might be jealous in the sense of, like, girl, I'm the one that created this group. I'm the one that brought y'all together. Like, if I would have just exposed some more of my life when it came to my situation with my divorce, maybe I could have stayed on this show and built a platform for myself. And, like, now I'm trying to get back in there. With Karen, I think Karen knows that she's not, like, that this persona that she created to be in the Grand Dame is just that. It's a persona that works in her favor for reality TV purposes, as well as, like, reality TV purposes, and maybe for her brand in a sense. The truth of the matter is, Karen ain't nobody in Potomac. And y'all, like, as people, she's not anybody in Potomac, y'all. And the reason why I can say that is, like, you never see Karen talk about what she's doing for Potomac or what are the events she's been invited to. I've seen Charisse be invited to events that I know only like the people that are up there or the elite in DC go to. Charisse is there. I've seen pictures of her there. Even with the whole Tina Knowles Foundation, she was there. She was with Angela and them, and they was kicking it and talking it. We've seen Charisse be welcomed in those like environments, but we've never seen Karen have that. And I do think it rubbed Karen the wrong way when Robin was like, when Robin said, or whoever said, she's the queen of the Potomac, or someone said like, Charisse is a philanthropist, she's the it girl, she's a socialite. That's not what you are. And I do believe Karen knows that's not what she is. And I think that might bother her when it comes to having Charisse around. I also think Charisse do know stuff about Karen. Because people started picking up that whole like drunk situation in the rehab. And everyone starts talking about how the girls used to say back the seasons ago that like Karen has called them drunk a couple of times. And I'm not saying what that lady said was true, but we not going to act like it might be. It might be. So there's that on that. When it comes to Wendy and Mia, I don't really think it's jealousy. I just think it's two personalities don't mix. But I also think they're two sides of the same coin. Like when... And I'm not saying in the sense of like Wendy lies or does what Mia do. I think it's the way that they presented themselves when they got on the show. Wendy, like to a lot of people's annoyance and disgust, hated the fact that Wendy was always talking about her 4 degrees and how she had these accolades and how she was this and she was that. When Mia came on, everyone hated Mia constantly talking about she a boss and she makes this and she's a CEO. And it's like they both kind of threw those things around when they first stepped up on the scene. And we're not going to act like Wendy wasn't mad spicy with Mia when she first came into the group when they were at the nude interlude at Wendy's house. And everybody was like, Wendy, why are you so snappy with the lady? But you know, as the season went on, we all was okay with it because we got tired of Mia. So it's like, I think they want to like each other, but they got off on the wrong foot. And because at times Mia can be very combative and so can Wendy, it hasn't worked for them. It hasn't worked for them. And I think it's also the fact that Mia knows that she can't best Wendy. And Wendy knows that too. And it's hard for Mia to humble herself in order for their friendship to work out. That's just my take. All right, y'all. So the next scene we see is of Karen and Ashley sitting down by the pool and having a conversation. So Karen feels some type of way, especially when it comes to Robin, about how Robin came at her at the dinner. She felt like Robin was questioning her integrity and that she was like, you can defend your friend, but you don't gotta lynch me. I said, okay, lady, calm down. Calm down, Karen. She then feels like she's always been there for Robin. And she was like, the only thing that's fake about me, like she was like, I know things about Robin. I know that wedding that Robin is having with Juan is fake. I also know that Juan been around town with another woman. So Ashley is like, girl, what? Because Ashley's whole thing is like, Robin was sticking up for Charisse. You know, Charisse and Robin have been friends for like 12 plus years. Like their friendship is the longest friendship that has been on this show. Like she's going to defend Charisse because Charisse was there for her during the hard times that she had with Juan. So, and Karen's like, I don't even want to talk about Charisse. This ain't got nothing to do with Charisse. This has everything to do with Robin. So that's when Karen throws out that she knows Juan has another woman. So Ashley is like, girl, what? Okay, elaborate on it. So Karen's like, Juan be around town with this older woman. She has blonde hair and she looks like me. You know, she's an older woman and she looks like me. Ashley is like, girl, you lying. You is lying. And she said he's like be in Georgetown and he be in Montgomery County with the lady. But she also said that, you know, she understands that like there's an arrangement because Ashley's like, so you think there's an arrangement? She's like, of course there's an arrangement between Juan and Robin. She then was like, she tells Ashley like, hey, don't tell Robin. I want to have this conversation with her woman to woman. Here's the thing. I don't believe this. And the reason why I don't believe that is Juan is still a notable, like, famous person in the DC, like, the DMV area because he played for the NBA and he played for the Wizards. Like, people still know who Juan is. to the point of like if someone saw Juan in Georgetown, and Georgetown is nice, it's expensive, but it's nice. People would be filming them. There would be screenshots and like someone would have exposed Juan. So it's like, girl, no ma'am. And then it's like you could have kept it if you would have just been like, oh yeah, the lady, like, she's fair skinned or she might be possibly white and she has blonde hair. But then to add that she looked like me does not make it believable. And I'm not saying Karen is ugly, but we not gonna act like Karen that is season 7 Karen is not season 1 Karen. Like, we not gonna act like Karen ain't done upgrades. She look great, by the way. She do. But we not gonna act like that. So I was like, Karen, no ma'am. No ma'am. No ma'am. And then to say that like what Juan and Robin have is an arrangement while these two ladies sit in front of me have arrangements. Like, girl, Karen, Ray is a like, how old is Ray? Because what we gonna do? Let's see, how old is Ray? Karen Huger. Karen 59. How old is Ray? Ray is 76. 59, 76. That man is several decades older than you. I won't say several. He's 17. But that's multiple. Like, girl, what are we talking about, Karen? We know that's an arrangement. Ray saw you and y'all got together. He took you from the farm and put you where you at. Ashley, same arrangement, sis. Either you was a bartender or your friends knew each other. You got with Michael. So for her to be like, it was an arrangement, sis, what y'all had was an arrangement. So miss me with that. So they all are like meeting in the lobby area. We see Charisse and Jacqueline talking. Jacqueline's still harping on about me and her not being okay. We then see Ashley walk up to Candace and Wendy, basically spilling the beans almost that supposedly, Karen dropped Ashley's like, Karen dropped a bomb on me, but she told me not to tell. She basically said that she wanted to tell Robin herself. And both of them are like, girl, Ashley can't hold water for more than 2 seconds. She gonna tell. So they get on the Sprinter to ride to Tulum. They doing questions, like 80 questions. We find out that everyone feels like Giselle's a Karen. They talk about like what adult content that they consume, in that industry. And then they give in like descriptions. Don't want to know about that from y'all. We then hear that the Trina video is coming out in months. It's already out if you want to watch it. Actually really good. So they make it to Tulum. They're all like walking around the little shopette areas, looking at dresses, looking at jewelry. Then Ashley says she wants to go back to this one place to look at another dress. So they go to that place and it's just Ashley and Robin. And Ashley basically spills the beans to Robin about what Karen said. Robin is like, girl, what? So then she's like, you know what? I'm going to call Juan. Juan goes off. Juan is like, you know what? I'm sick of these women. He said, I'm going to cuss one of them out, Robin. I'm going to cuss one of them women out because they always talking. I'm sick of it. He said, I'm sick of them. He said, I love and appreciate you. Don't be fooled by them. So I saw the mixed reactions online. So I'll give y'all my first genuine reaction. I laughed because he was fed up. And I love a good meltdown when people are fed up. Because that's something I would say. I'm going to cuss one of them out when I see them. I'm going to cuss them out when I see them. Okay? I give that energy sometimes. But here's the thing. If Juan is cheating, I would believe it because of his track record. This reaction doesn't confirm to me that he's cheating. I know a lot of people were comparing his reaction to Eddie's reaction about how calm Eddie was, but I feel like Wendy already told Eddie because it was a flashback of Ashley and her talking. I'm guaranteeing you that day she probably went to her husband and was like, girl, this is, not girl, well, baby, this is what they saying about you. and he was prepped for it. Robin called Juan and didn't tell him what was said, so he went off. And I feel like Robin is damned if she do, damned if she don't. People don't like Robin, so if she wouldn't have called Juan, people would have been like, well, why not check with Juan and tell Juan so we could get a reaction? And if she would have called Juan and he would have been nonchalant about it, they would have been like, oh, yo, like he really is cheating and she knows. Or this reaction, they'd be like, oh, he's definitely cheating because of his reaction. I feel like he don't like this TV stuff. He really doesn't, because even when we seen scenes of them last, like seasons ago, Juan has always told everyone like he don't really like being on TV like that. And if the tea I know where they said that Juan was cheating on Robin with Gabrielle Union is actually true, then I don't think he cheating on Robin with a Karen, with someone that looked like Karen. I just don't. But I giggled when he went off, because I like when people are fed up and they just be like, you know what? F all of this. Like it reminds me. Cut it off, Debbie. Delete it, Debbie. I love that Vine. So they all go to another place to go have dinner, and this is when the stuff kicks off. So you see Wendy, Ashley, and Karen go to the bathroom while everyone is sitting down at the table. Girl, Mia a punk, because Giselle told Mia to move, and at first Mia was like, no. She was like, no, move. I'd have told that lady no. Go somewhere else. I got to the table first. You find your seat somewhere else. You don't have to always sit by Robin. Go somewhere else. You ain't gonna tell me to move. This ain't middle school. Girl, go on somewhere. So, they're sitting down. Sharice's like, girl, why are you in such a good mood? Then Candace brings up, she was like, Ashley told us that, like, she said her and Karen had a conversation, and Karen kind of like dropped a bomb on her. And she was like, did she tell you? And Robin was like, wait till Karen gets back at the table. Robin starts talking about how she feels like Karen was being a mean girl when it came to Sharice. And here's my thing. I feel like all of them present those characteristics. And in a sense, Robin was being a hypocrite, because a lot of people felt like what Robin did to Wendy in the beginning of the season, where she didn't invite her to that family fun day, was being mean because she invited everybody in front of Wendy. And in a sense it was, but like if you go back and watch my reviews, I didn't really think it was that mean. And like I told y'all when I did my reviews for Miami for the latest episode, if I get into it with somebody, I'm not expecting to be invited to a party, or even if I was invited to the party, I'm expecting you to either disinvite me or that I'm not coming because we haven't came to a resolution. So I didn't fault her for that. Was it mean? Yeah, but they've all done mean things. So I was just kind of like, that's hypocritical, Robin. Y'all have done mean things to each other. You've done mean things to each other. Like, you have. So Karen sits down and they get to it, because Robin is still talking about what she felt like what Karen did was mean. And she also says that, like, she just don't see it for Karen pretty much. So Karen says she hates that Robin questioned her integrity. She says she never comes from a mean-spirited place. That's a lie. She said Robin be taking digs at her. Y'all be taking digs at each other. She also says she doesn't like the fact that Robin took her friend group and was telling everybody, like, not to trust her. And Robin is like, girl, no, I just said that I called out your BS and that, like, I feel like you're fake and you're phony. And then Karen says, you know what it is? You know what's fake and phony is this wedding. She's like, you're never going to get to the altar. That wedding's never going to happen. Giselle tries to chime in, and Karen kept hitting Giselle in the throat. Karen kept being like, girl, this is not a conversation that you need to be a part of. You are the one at this table that does not have a man, so cut it. And I was like, Giselle, shut up. Robin has this on her own. Stop chiming in. Be quiet, ma'am. Be quiet. So Karen's whole thing is like, you're getting married with no witnesses. Like, I won't believe it until it's you go to a registry. Like, I see the registration of your, like, license. And Robin's like, why is my marriage, like, an issue for you? Like, whether I get married or not, like, so what? You don't need to see the paperwork. And I wouldn't be talking about my wedding if you wouldn't always be asking. And so then when they rolled the footage, Karen does ask Robin every time she see her, what about this wedding? What about this wedding? Because I feel like Karen thinks that's a dig at Robin, but I don't think that's really a dig at Robin. So then then Robin's like, well, you out here bringing up information saying that my husband or my soon-to-be husband is out here having an affair or cheating on me with some lady that he has around Georgetown, where she was like, do you really think any of our husbands would be cheating and going to Georgetown, a well-known area where pictures and things could be taken of them, and like no one has sent them to us or sent us anything, but people have sent us stuff about you in this Blue Eye situation. So Wendy and Candace confirmed that, like, yeah, they heard the rumor too, but like, it's a rumor. So all of a sudden they like are taking shots. Giselle is giving them shots. So then Robin brings up, like, well, someone sent us proof. So someone sent Giselle a photo of supposedly Karen at the bar in Las Vegas with a guy with a, we don't call it no more. We don't call them the Redskins anymore because that's a slur. We call them something else. But the Washington's team, like DC's team, at the bar in Las Vegas, and the guy had on that jersey. And I cackled how Robin just started like passing her phone around to everybody. And Karen was like, can I see it? And Robin was like, no, you good. You good. And then when Charisse and Candace's expressions had me weak, because Charisse and Candace kept looking at each other like, ooh, girl. I cackled at them too. like Candace was like, ooh. And it was funny to me. So they're all looking at it. Mia's like, girl, that kind of do look like you. That kind of do look like you, sis. Then you have Ashley calling out saying like, girl, what's it called? She was like, girl, is that the same guy that, like, the driver? Because that's why I don't understand why Karen don't give Ashley the same smoke. Because Ashley was also helping peddle this rumor about you, where she said her stepson saw you at the bar with somebody and y'all was hugged up. But you don't be giving Ashley the same smoke you give Charisse about this whole situation. So they're all like, girl. And the thing about it is, two things let me know that this rumor about Karen low-key might have weight to it. One is when Karen was like, when she, like, her body language shifted. And then she said, oh, like, that man could be, like, that man is, like, that could be a married man. If it's not you in the picture, why do you assume this man is married? Do you know this man? It feels like you know this man, Karen. Then she brings up the whole thing about Juan, where she's like, I'm protecting Juan. So then she doubles back where she says that when they did that reunion 3 years ago, when they were all in all white, and how someone asked a question about whether or not they would do like a threesome, and Robin said, no, I would not. Juan was like, oh, you got to keep your marriage spicy. And then Karen's like, that's why I like Juan. And I'm like, girl, you kind of incriminating yourself. And she said, I guess after the taping wrapped, Juan hugged her so tight that her breast hit her backbone, and it made her feel uncomfortable. And I liked Robin's response where she was like, I can't confirm or deny that, but okay. Because you can't confirm whether or not it happened, and you can't really deny it, but she didn't disregard Karen's feelings on whether or not it did happen. But what makes me feel like it's like the situation is sus is you waited this long and you're using it as a dig to somebody else. An uncomfortable situation because you're getting bested in a conversation. You're using yourself being uncomfortable as a dig to someone else because they were getting the best of you. They were getting the best of you. And I was just like, girl, Karen, you lost. You lost, sis. Just cop to it. You lost. You should have just took the L. And if what really did happen, Robin would have known about it because you went to HR, because they would have pulled both of you in to have a resolution. So was it really Juan? Or was it somebody else's husband? Either way, I think that's just as foul as what Ashley and Giselle are doing. Like, It don't look good, lady. It don't look good. And it's crazy to me how much people are going up for Karen in this moment when it's like, y'all were just mad at Giselle because Giselle and Ashley considerably are wrong. Karen is wrong in this situation. But because Karen is a fan favorite, y'all act like that lady pisses rainbows and poops butterflies. Like, it's like, bro, she wrong. she really wrong. Like, the lady is really wrong here. Like, you don't use those types of situations to, like, a gotcha moment. That diminishes how serious it is. But okay. So then Giselle being corny, talking about, let's toast the receipts. And then we find out that Karen, like, I think they were like, oh, someone said, I think it was either Giselle or maybe Robin, that Karen was not invited to the bachelorette party. And then Karen was like, I wouldn't want to go anyway. So I don't understand why Karen going to be upset, or Wendy's going to be upset when it comes to next episode. Because my thing about Wendy, here's the thing about Wendy. I like Wendy, but Wendy don't know how to play the game, y'all. She really doesn't. At this table, she's making all these exaggerated expressions, and she's like shook and shocked by what's going on. And it's like Charisse and Candace and Ashley and Mia and Jacqueline were all shocked by what was going on, but they weren't making sounds, and they weren't making them so big. You're sitting at the head of the table, ma'am. Sit there, make your faces, but don't be extra about it. Even Candace had to tell you, like, sis, pipe down. Because you're setting yourself to be on an island by yourself. At this point, the only people Wendy has been filming with really has been Candace, Karen, and Ashley. And even though Candace has had beef with everybody, she's still in scenes with everybody. People are still engaging with her. If people don't talk to Wendy, or if Wendy doesn't force herself into a conversation, you don't really notice that she's there, because the other women are committed to not really vibing with her. So I'm like, girl, you got to be neutral sometimes so you can still float. You got to learn how to float. Wendy, float before you get axed out, girl. So they're still sitting at the table. And then next thing you know, they bring up Mia and Jacqueline, and mess. Mia and Jacqueline. So Mia, really Jacqueline, because Jacqueline proved to me that she's just like Mia, because they're like, are you two okay? I hope, everyone's like, we hope you guys can fix it. She's like, I'm not going to talk about this with you. I don't give a F about what none of y'all think about us or us. We're better than that. And so then Mia's like, then girl, shut up about it. So she was like, I stood beside me. So then Jacqueline's like, girl, what? I stood beside you with the no cancer, not cancer situation, cancer, not situation. She was like my mother took you in. And then Mia's response was like, and where were you on Mother's Day? And then Jacqueline starts about to cry. And I was like, Jacqueline, that was nasty. That was nasty. Why would you throw in someone's face that their mother took them in, a child that needed protection? And that lets me know that Jacqueline feels like Mia owes her something. Now, do I agree with the way that Mia has been treating Jacqueline? No, I don't. I think Mia has been very nasty towards Jacqueline. But I can see that Jacqueline is just as nasty as Mia. Because if I'm arguing with someone, I'm never going to throw back in their face that, like, they had to be put in the foster care system because their mama was a drug addict and their daddy was a wayward parent and he was stuck in prison. And I'm like, yeah, Jacqueline, yeah, that was nasty. That's why everyone feeling bad for Jacqueline. I don't understand why, because birds of a feather flock together. And Jacqueline just proved that she is just as nasty as Mia with that whole comment. I was like, oh, and she got you. That's why I don't have no problem when she sprayed her back. Where was you on Mother's Day? Where were you? Since your mama did everything for me, she also did things for you and you weren't there. So I don't have a problem with that. And then Jacqueline got so dramatic and she gets up from the table and nobody follows her. Cause I'm like, girl, you're a +1. You're not Charisse. Don't nobody on this cast know you like this. No one's going to follow you. They're going to sit here and finish their quesadillas and their tacos and talk about what is going on with her. And that's what they did. So then while Jacqueline walks away, Mia and Wendy have a conversation. And Mia's like, she wants to talk to she wants to talk to Wendy because she really wants to like her, but she feels as though like she doesn't like the fact that insecurities are getting in the way with that. It was an underhanded comment. I don't understand why Robert was in the background telling Wendy to let Mia finish. I do think Wendy sometimes has a tendency to get into commentator mode and then like she over like talks the situation. I do feel like Robin yelling didn't need to happen, but I feel like they kind of knew an argument was gonna happen once Wendy was like insecurity, because I know Wendy was gonna clock. So they're about to get on the sprinter. When Mia's like, girl, I'm not going after Jacqueline. I guess she wants attention right now, but I'm not going after her. Like, that's what she does. She does these types of things, and this is what we have. So then everyone's crowding around Jacqueline. You have Charisse, you have Wendy, and you have Candace, and they're like, it's going to be okay. Jacqueline talking about she going to go off on her. They're like, no, I'm over Jacqueline and Mia fighting. I don't care no more. Don't care no more. So we get to the last scene of the episode where Wendy and Mia finally have a conversation. Wendy goes to Mia's room, and it gave very much lesbian corn. It gave very much lesbian corn. I said, what is this? Is this sexual tension between y'all? Because Mia half honestly really didn't apologize. She just like, I was wrong. But she didn't say what she was wrong for. Wendy said she felt like she was very disrespected. They then talk about how they know that Eddie and G get along. And then Wendy says, you're beautiful. I'm gorgeous. That was also a underhanded compliment. And then we find out that they might have let each other eat each other boxes. And I'm like, what is this? What is this? And it's starting to give notion to what people have been saying about like Wendy, like slightly being like wanting to really be a part of this group. And I feel like that's why the Wendy stans be getting mad at Wendy, because some of y'all be pissed at Wendy how forgiving she is. And I get it, she wants to go along to get along, because she does seem to like being on this show and what the show gives to her. But like, girl, I would have held on to this grudge. Like, she threw alcohol in your face, and she tried to like bop you upside the head, or she did bop you upside the head with her purse. Like, Kenya held on to her grudge with Portia for several seasons. Danielle held on to her grudge with Teresa for several seasons. They still be holding on to like people be holding on to everything. I think Kim still got issues with Lisa and her breaking glass on the table when they were overseas. Like, even on that season where we saw Kim was very much get Lisa running out my space. Wendy, hold on to a grudge. You have the right to hold on to a grudge. And that's why I be looking at Wendy with the side eye, because it's like she get on the internet playing, like hyping up the fans, and we think Wendy is about to go off on the show, but then when it premieres, it's like, girl, you kumbayaing with this lady. Don't kumbaya with her. She ain't nobody to kumbaya with. But yeah, y'all, that is it. That's all. Remember to be bravely authentic and hop down in them comments below. Deuces.